Rad Mom here. Um, it's Saturday morning, right around 11 a.m. So that means that we're here for our, weekly Rad Fem chat of epic proportions. You know, I did not get a video made this week, and I apologize for that. I would love some suggestions about, I should put up a community tab or something about, for suggestions for videos, because I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't even know who's out there anymore. Like, I don't know what's going on, y'all. I don't know what's going on anymore. I just spent a year and a half in the 19th century, so I don't know what's going on around here anymore. So, and like, I don't know, man. My web developer doesn't even want me to do anything like that at all. He's like, no, just do the live streams. Just keep it alive, for now. Because you're editing your book, blah, blah, blah. Yes, that's true. But I was hoping to get back into it, but. I remember to make the chat live because I do want to actually see all of it should anyone show up. Yeah, but he doesn't actually want me to do anything. He's like, no, just keep the channel alive, on live support, basically. And then, because it really what it is, like, the story doesn't go super well for, like, most of mainly anyone, really. So, essentially, I just went through some shit that I cannot talk to anyone about. Because I did not go through all that to be dishing out spoilers. That doesn't make any sense to me. But, like, that doesn't mean that I didn't go through some shit, because the ending is kind of, like, gonna upset people. It upset me. Yeah. That's kind of the idea, though. I'm hoping to get people talking and, like, kind of incensed, like, yeah. Just about the story, at least at first. Hi. What's up?
Oh,
I had to go ahead and get started. It's after 11.
Okay.
There's no one here to ask, so. It's just me talking to myself at the moment. We both know how really good I am at that, so. It's been several solid minutes now. It's just pure gold, obviously. How are you doing?
All right.
You off work? Or off the computer, or whatever you were doing?
Yeah. I was waiting for the
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. I know Jamie's not the one in there. Because I believe the 17-year-old is at work. Or she's not here anyway, the car's coming. Ah, teenagers. Would not be one again for all the tea in China, would you? Hey, is someone here? How you doing? Good morning. What up? Welcome to RadChat, Saturday morning. Just kind of getting warmed up over here, Talking about how I did not get a video done this week. Oh, I'm sorry. Was I not fascinating enough for you? Whatever. I need to get back to what I was saying anyway. Which was, I did not get a video done this week because I just went through some shit, y'all, and I don't even know what's going on out there anymore, and I gotta go and find some stuff to watch, and I've not even started editing yet. Not even started because I have to get all my notes copied over. I have started doing that. Copying the notes over. I have started doing it. So that's good, feel pretty good about that. The mail truck is here. Mailman, yeah. That's funny. That's not as good on me. What up, Mary? How you doing? I was late too. So, I was like 5 minutes late to my own damn party today. So, no worries. How you doing? Oh gosh, you can see my lap now. I'm not wearing anything embarrassing down there. Doing the, the anchor desk thing. Counting on me to be late. Aw, I'm so consistent that people count on me to be myself. I'm fine with that. I just got out of the shower. Nice. I meant to take one last night, and I did not get to do that because I ended up lighting a fire instead, which was still out there smoldering an hour ago. So that's pretty cool. Pretty happy with that, actually. I'm fine with that. Worth it. You know? You can't smell me. Nice and clean for this. Well, thank you. I can't smell you either, but the consideration is appreciated. What up, Philological? Pretty good, pretty good. You know, just kind of hanging out. I was apologizing to the ether to the internet, to no one before y'all got here. You can only smell yourself, right? Yeah, it's I was just sort of apologizing for not having a video out this week because guys, I just went through some shit, you know? Like the ending of the story is not nice. I can't talk to anybody about it. Because I didn't go through all that to be handing out spoilers now, really, you know. The story, like, these, you know, it doesn't end well for people. Hi, Owen. It's not a happy ending, you know. I had to write all that, so mainly that. I just went through some shit, you know. No, it's cool. I only got to the part in the rug and got confused. No, that's fine. Like, that's the last new bit. Anyway, give me my hat back. This is not steal the hat. I did not wash my hair last night like I wanted to, so this is definitely not steal the hat. You should go inside and find your dad.
But he's on the toilet.
Oh, well then go inside and find your brother.
He's doing something that I don't want.
What's that?
I don't remember.
We'll go and find out.
Okay.
Before I have to call him out here. What are you doing?
Laundry.
What? No, actually, strangely, it's been fairly quiet around here. No, you can't have that one because it's not very ripe. Have this one, it's riper.
I like that one.
They're not as sweet. Oh yeah, here's today's strawberry haul this morning. It's pretty good, huh? Not too bad for my little patch. Go in the house. Cole, play with your brother. Please. Then you need to talk with your dad about that and find out what y'all are going to do about that because I am doing this. Thank you. I love you, boo. Please go in the house. Ta-ta. I really wouldn't know because our two girls aren't mine, really. I mean, they are, like, you know, God, I've known them half their lives at this point, but I did not give birth to them or know them for the first several years of their lives. So they're just not as clingy to me, I don't think, as they would be if I had done it, all of that, you know? I just don't think that's how that works. Stepmom, right, is the thing. And that is where I'm at with them. So they just don't cling to me like that. And that's just never been a thing. My boys kind of do, but, you know, boys and moms. My Dominican friend has a 20 and a 2-year-old girl. Wow. That's quite a gap there. Haha. Well, even I didn't do that bad. Mine are only 9.5 years apart. Almost exactly. They don't cling like 5 and 10-year-old boys. Yeah. I don't have a 10-year-old boy anymore. I have a 5 and a 15. Oh, it's not a gap. She has 4 kids. Oh, okay. It's quite a gap between the oldest and the youngest, though, still. So she's like got like 20, 10, 5, and 2. My gosh. That's about where, that's kind of pretty much what we, yeah. Our oldest is going to be 21 this fall. So, yeah. Wait, he's 6, not 5. Okay. 10, 6, 2, and 21. Yeah, our cluster is at the upper end, so we have a 20, a 17, a 15, and a 5. Yeah. Forgot everyone had a birthday recently. I know, right? What's with that? What's with people aging and getting older and stuff, and like the years continuing to tick by? I am not on board with that. I am not all on board with that. No. I don't know. There's some ways that getting older is not bad, right? I mean, I was gonna say you start to feel like you have a better idea of what the hell's going on, but that's not necessarily a good thing, is it? Please don't come out here. What is it?
Go get the shower.
Where is your dad? Go find your dad. I am not going to tell you again. This has happened every week for a month. Go in the house and find your dad. If I have to come find him, he's not going to like it, and neither will you. That child is nearly 6 years old. 3 of her kids have their birthdays in a 2-week period. Wow. If they all had the same father, those people must have the most amazingly, rhythmic relationship where it just has the same, they live the same year over and over. That's wild. I mean, I can't imagine. You almost have to try and do that on purpose. That's wild. No, all different fathers of the 3. Then how do you explain that? What a coincidence. This is wild. Oh my goodness. Like, I have 2. Hi.
Hi.
What's going on?
What's coming?
No,
Come on.
I haven't had a chance to ask them yet, and Owen has been out here 3 times in the last 5 minutes. General second husband, 6 and 2-year-old Sam. Okay, so 2 different fathers. Yeah, that's pretty common. Listen, you guys, he wants to hang with us today, and I need to ask you about it. I didn't want to just, spring it on you. May is obviously her fertile month since the kids are born in February, right? That's funny. That's May is sure. Yes, let him. Okay, cool. Thank you, because that was super awkward just now. I hate. But like, the little guy, we'll wait till the big one's out of the shower. How about that? Because he just kind of abandoned me again. Because he's a 15-year-old boy. And apparently they're all jerks. Who knew? 1 second. Hey, babe. They're cool with it. Can you wait till close out the shower? Okay. I guess I haven't had a chance to ask them. They both just kind of showed up and just kind of looked at me. But yeah, you couldn't sit with us a little bit. I love you. Y'all, it's so adorable how hurt his feelings are when I tell him no. Cat. Oh, yeah, Pucky. The cat walked by the camera. Thanks for keeping it warm for me, girlfriend. Never a dull moment around here, I swear. Never. Okay. So what's up with you, Philological? Marion, I caught up a little bit before you showed up. How you doing? Have you gotten your PhD yet? I don't know how any of that works, because I have an associate's degree from a tech school. So. I do have a friend who is a college professor and has a PhD, but she was far too busy while she was doing that to actually keep me informed of every step during the process, and I did not ask because I figured that would be weird. Yeah. I took on a new work project, which has been super stressful, LOL. Oh, I'm sorry. I should be submitting my thesis in December. Hopefully it's 2024. I'll be a doctor. Nice. Solid. Solid. See, I don't know how any of that works. I figure it's not necessarily doesn't necessarily follow the regular school year, though, because you're probably far beyond that by this point, right? Probably set your own class schedule and everything. What kind of doctor? PhD. Right. Of something a little off kilter, if I'm not mistaken, right? Some sort of philosophy or something. Which I love. Off kilter just, not a moral judgment or anything. I love that shit. PhD in what? Oh, yes. Old English literature. See? There we go. A PhD in Old English literature. Which is actually really cool because my friend, I can't believe I haven't made this connection before. Teresa is classical Spanish literature. She speaks like 3 different dialects of modern Spanish, in addition to like medieval Castilian, because she studies and translates that shit with like a de facto minor in queer theory. Well, I think many of us have that at this point. I know I probably do. I know I probably do. I have a de facto minor in queer theory, but I lived and dwelt and had bought real estate there years ago. Ooh, that sounds really cool. Right? Yeah, no, she's a very cool person. I've known her for years. She's my oldest friend. I've known her since I was like 8. So I got grandfathered into that life by being her friend from childhood. Because and I have several friends like that who are pretty accomplished people, and it's given me the impression over the years that perhaps I have been underselling myself. All my childhood friends went on to become college professors and academic sorts, and gosh, I don't even know what a lot of them did. Anyway, one thing I've really done, I'm so looking backwards. I've been looking backwards basically for a 1.5 years straight. We academics aren't accomplished. We're just nerds. Well, yeah, I am a nerd. You're accomplished nerds, okay? With like certificates to show for it and stuff. I know way too much about way too much because I cannot help myself but look into things when I get curious about them. Which is how one of the ways that I would assert that I would probably qualify for, a de facto minor in queer theory. But I don't actually have a degree in anything except for audio technology. And as I said, that's an associate's degree that I have not actually put to use outside of a church setting in like 12 years. Something like that. And it's not that I don't like it. Can't make any money doing it, and I just kind of fell out of the music because, well, the teens were the decade of auto-tune, weren't they? When it sort of disappeared if you didn't know what you were listening for, but if you did, it was everywhere. Everywhere. And I hate it so fucking much. Oh. Yeah. And if you're not working in popular music, you're not making money doing audio. You're not. Or, film, maybe. I don't know. I don't really know from film. I really was, more towards the music side of things. Having come from music land, and, being, a songwriter and whatever beforehand. So, I do not feel that I'm a particularly accomplished nerd, but you can't not be a nerd, right? You can't take the nerd out of the nerd no matter what you do. And I do use that as an excuse sometimes, don't I? Where I'll be like, and this just seems so obvious to me, but that's because I know this and this and that, because I'm a nerd and I read about this shit all the time, I made humans. I did. That keeps you very busy. I wasn't making a direct connection between the two, honestly, because my friend, the academic, who is, the one who has the degree in classical Spanish literature, also has 4 daughters, so, of her own, that she made with her one husband, because they're very Catholic. There's a connection there, clearly, between... Thank you. Thank you for the respect. And it's not an accomplishment, Daughters are not clingy like boys. Yeah. I'm not sure I'll ever get to know that. It's amazing that women grow humans. Thank you. Yes, I agree. And like, not even to talk about myself. Someone's got to do it, or there will be no future generation, right? It should be a respect-worthy endeavor, I think. If only because it enables you to do the job better. And everyone benefits from that. When I talk about children benefit blah blah blah, that's everyone. Everyone begins life as a child. If children benefit from a thing, then everyone benefits from that thing. Everyone who will ever live going forwards. That's, whatever benefits children benefits everyone, because everyone begins life as a child. You don't want to be one. No, that's fine. You don't need to have children, but you were one at one point. Who would have benefited from whatever it was? That's all I'm saying. Everyone begins life as a child, whether you go on to have them, any of your own or not. Technically, everyone starts as a baby first. Babies are a form of child, are they not? I mean, the French word enfant means child, not a baby. And if you mess up a child, you're going to cause more problems for others later. Exactly. I really believe this, some of the biggest assholes throughout all of history were unwanted children. Vice versa if you help out a child. Right. As I've said before, I wish every situation were so clear-cut as to what the right thing to do is. Should I pay attention to this kid and nurture them or not? I don't know. My mind has been so much into other languages, I use their rules in our words. Ah. Gotcha. I've had a similar thing going on lately. I mean, it's not with language, with like cultural zeitgeist mindset. I don't know. I spent like the last year and a half in the 19th century. I mentioned that earlier, so yeah, that's been weird. Remember last week I needed you to pronounce irreconcilable. Yeah. But hey, good news. Pronouncing words is a thing I do. Because, you want to talk about nerds? My parents met at a Mensa meeting. I don't know if y'all remember that. But I was raised by nerds, too. Big groups of them. They used to get together and, like, drink and play cards and talk politics and engineering and shit, so I come across words, still to this day, every once in a while, I will come across a new word, and then I will pronounce it and go, oh yeah, that, because I've heard it before. Thanks for doing that. I was able to teach the word to Russian-speaking women in Kazakhstan. That's awesome. Yeah, no, pronouncing English words is a thing I do, like medical terms, engineering terms, psychopharmacological terms, all that stuff. I can usually get a woman in Kazakhstan. You know what? Anyway, yeah, I remember your parents are Mensa members. Right, yeah. She was like, whoa, that's a hard word. Yeah. Yeah. Even for an English speaker. Because like I say, I feel like that I should not be long if you go phonetically. Which we don't. We all know that, but we still wish we did, don't we, sometimes? We're like, wait a minute. I thought there was a rule there. Like, all Russian words are kind of hard. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. Da. I don't know how to say I guess, but my Russian is small. Very small. But I have this curse where I can hear things and like mimic them, okay? So that doesn't sound like a curse, but it is, I assure you. And like one of the things is I was a voice major actually initially when I first started college as a wee babe, of 18 back in the day, 100 years ago or so. So I took diction classes in English, French, and Italian. Il y a de moi. I think in Russian. Я думаю. I guess. Я думаю. Yeah. I used to know how to say I love you, which is like a tongue twister. You or something. Like I love you in Russian is like means I think. Rock and roll. Я думаю. Cool. Cool. Я тебя люблю. Right. It's a mouthful. I don't even. And I've mentioned before, I think my teacher was actually from St. Petersburg, so her accent was mwah, beautiful. And I did not quite get the hang of that one because the vowels are different, right? The vowels are all, I mean, like they have an E. That was kind of familiar, but they also have an E, which is not. And ooh is connected to all sorts of stuff that in English makes it feel that's in like the back of the mouth and makes you feel like, you know, you're just kind of ping-ponging your tongue back and forth across your mouth constantly. And like, yeah, Russian's hard. Talking Russian to my cat. Nice. Nice. Yeah, my you know, I really could just talk about her all day. She's such an interesting person. She actually met her husband in Kazakhstan. That's funny you should mention Kazakhstan, because that's where they met. But she is from Indiana, and he is from Michigan. She went all the way halfway around the world to meet a boy from Michigan. And I've teased her about that before, because it is so adorable. Right? They were in the Peace Corps together. I said they both speak Kazakh. They've given their children Kazakh names. And they speak Kazakh, and she speaks Spanish to the children, too. So they're all trilingual to some extent. How freaking cool is that? So when I talk about being an accomplished nerd, that's the kind of thing I mean. I can't do that. I speak 4 or 5 dialects of English pretty fluently. So that's not nothing, because English is complex, right? That's not nothing. But it's not quite that. So I'm an underaccomplished nerd. I feel. I've started again. I've underachieved through the years. I bet you could, Rad Mom. Writers in English usually take to foreign language as well. Thank you. You know, and I have shown talents in that area before. I've just never really had the time or the inclination to pursue them to a whole, like, giant extent. Let's see. As do musicians, I think. Yeah, there's like similar brain regions involved there. I had a conversation with a neighbor from Guatemala and found out she has 8 brothers and 7 sisters. I said to her in Spanish, "Your mother has too much sex." What did it mean in her dialect, though? Right? Like is that where this is going? Yeah, so anyway, he'll be out here to join us, I think, any minute, because we're just waiting on the big boy to get out of the shower. So, you know, I haven't, you know, shown talent in languages. It's mainly in the sounds and, like, the intuitive learning of it, though. As for grammar and spelling and whatever, tu madre tiene mucho sexo. That's really good. That English is harder than Spanish. She laughed after I said that. Yes, I think the entire world would laugh after they heard you say that. Mucho sexo? I mean, come on. That's hilarious. Did me sexo mucho though? I don't know. Spanish syntax drives me crazy. Because, and it's funny, in a way, Spanish and Russian are opposites, right? Because Russian does not have a definite article, and Spanish puts it before everything. They left because mobilization. Oh, and I met new neighbors from Russia. They left because mobilization? Mobilization? Like the war? That's the reason people leave their home countries pretty commonly, from what I hear. Fucking sucks. Fucking, and I guess Putin was in the hospital because somebody drone struck him, which is kind of wild. A personal drone strike. Yeah, that's the full treatment, isn't it? My Spanish is good because my Spanish-speaking friends speak really broken English. That's cool. So you meet them where they're at. That's cool. I've never had the opportunity to do that. I've never had, friends whose first language was not English. Because again, I am from Indiana originally, and then I lived many years in Ohio, and this place is absolutely crawling with spiders, y'all. In the last 2 days, I have seen 2 of the biggest spiders I've ever seen. And here's another one. It's a lot smaller, but it's crawling right across the fucking windowsill right in front of me. Yeah, we got many new Russians now, and I'm asking my friend who lives in Russia to teach me to say, nice to meet you. They have these books that you can get at most any bookstore called phrase books. They have all kinds of shit like that, and you can just tuck them in your pocket. Handiest, dandiest thing you'll ever buy. Yeah, there's a huge immigrant area here. Well, and I bet that some merchant has cottoned onto that, and you can probably find all sorts of phrase books right near where you live, if you look. Books don't help you. Well, that's not been my experience, but your mileage may vary, obviously. Again, I am a word nerd, so yeah, I'm gonna go get a book probably. There's a really good chance that that's gonna happen in about any given situation, honestly. You have no idea how to learn a foreign language, my dear. No, I don't. I said that, right? I said I haven't really done that. Janya listens to me try and gives me feedback on how to say it better. Yeah, and I mean, that's really cool. I'm not saying having a live teacher isn't better. But for basic phrases, you can at least give yourself a start. I don't know. I'm just the sort of person that's going to look into something a little bit myself before I go pestering people. I am popping out for like half an hour. We'll say hi if y'all are still on when I get back. Nope. Okay. See ya. But if I miss y'all, hope yous have great weeks. Back at ya. Maybe Ella will stop by today. And we can have another love fest. That was fun. Oh, my husband's gonna be here. That will be really fun. You have a skill I do not have. Like, everybody has their thing, right? I'm bad at certain things, and I feel no shame in delegating those things in my life a lot of the time, either to a calculator or to a friend, because you just can't be good at everything. Nobody can be good at everything. That's ridiculous. To expect that of anybody. Yourself included, But like I say, if you need someone to pronounce a word in English, pretty much anything. Modern English. Come at me, I will pronounce the hell out of that shit for you. Right, we all have our strengths and weaknesses. You are way better at English than me. English is hard. I acknowledge that. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's easy just because it kind of comes easy to me, she said, stumbling over her words. Autophagy. What's that? What's autophagy? something. But yeah, I'm a and this is the music too. This is, you know, my supposed language talent where I'm like not great at spelling or grammar, just the, you know, pronunciation and like intuitive absorption of it. That's what happens when you fast. Oh. What does... Oh. I was about to ask what that had to do with the topic at hand, but I see it now. I see it now. Cool. Pronounce it like I do. Yeah. I'm not going to say that there's not more than one pronunciation for certain words. I will say that I usually have a preference, and I usually have a reason for that preference. The word... I heard someone else say it and was confused. Well, most people do not know how to pronounce shit, okay? I have heard many a time someone who is paid to speak, to read scripts, that's their job. They are paid to pronounce English before a camera. That's all they do. And yet, they don't bother to look shit up. They clearly don't. Before they, you know, read through something. Because it's, you know, usually kind of stuff where a simple perusal of a dictionary entry would have settled their obvious confusion. But sometimes things have more than one legit pronunciation. It was pronounced properly. Autophagy. I just never had the word before. She was an expert on the topic. Right on. As I'm saying, sometimes even people who should know better don't. It was the confusion of the word on my part. Yeah, that's a weird one. Never heard it. I have. Because I have some medical training. But, again, I didn't remember what it meant. Because it's the sounds that I remember usually. That's the conclusion I ended up coming to with the language stuff and music and everything. Is I'm a mimic, apparently. I just kind of regurgitate shit that I have heard pretty accurately usually, and sometimes years and years and years afterwards. It's a weird talent, and I really wish I could find a way to make money off of it because I could do it in my sleep. Oh well. That's so cool. Oh, yeah, I mean, thanks. You know, again, come at me with the words. I will wrap my tongue around them. That sounded bad. That's how I learn verbal languages. Just repeat what you heard. Right. And I'm sure that I would learn a foreign language so much better that way. But again, I have lived in the middle of the North American continent my entire life. Everyone here only speaks one language, okay? Everyone I've ever known. I'm not going to say I've never met anyone who speaks other languages. I've had friends whose families spoke Spanish. They didn't speak Spanish to me. Because I am the white girl, okay? And I don't speak fucking Spanish on the bright side. Like my daughter, my 17-year-old. Her mother is mixed. Her grandfather was a black man. So my stepdaughter would be quarter black, if you want to look at it that way. So she blends in quite well with her Latina friends. You know what I mean? She has that really lovely olive skin tone. But so people will often assume that she speaks Spanish, and she does not. When she talks to you, she is a white girl. You know what I mean? Like, she was raised by us, so white people. She just has a very lovely, you know, olive skin tone. But culturally speaking, she is a white girl, and does not speak Spanish or, you know, have any particularly strong other ethnic, you know, background personally. But it's kind of funny. No one's ever assumed that I spoke Spanish. Ever. That's never been a problem that I had. I can't imagine why, right? Yeah. I hate these things so much. And you know, the more time goes by lately, the more I hate them. I'm probably gonna actually do something about it this year. I love that you invited your husband and he doesn't show up. No, that's not fair. He is waiting on the 15-year-old to get out of the shower. Okay? And who has hair down to his shoulder blades. So, it could take a minute. That's not fair. Yeah. So, thanks for reminding me. Yeah. I have to constantly remind myself of exactly what is going on around here because there's never a dull moment and there's so many moving pieces. Oh my goodness. So many moving parts. And then heaven forfend to have anything going on in my head at all. That can get pretty distracting. Smoking some really good weed. Rock and roll, girlfriend. Rock and roll. I have not had enough myself today. Oh my goodness, it was a really long week. I am so sorry I didn't get a video done. Like I say, writing that shit kind of took it out of me. If you wanna be simple about it. I was visiting some dark places, you know, and I'm just supposed to pivot right back to normal daily life like nothing happened. You got any suggestions for people I might make fun of? That'd be great. New opening paragraph is really good. Awesome, thank you. I'm getting ready to go back and start the editing. Copying notes over and stuff. Not rushing that, you know. Who to make fun? Well, I guess Tucker Carlson is out because he got his dumbass fired from Fox News. Which, I don't know what this says about me. I was actually mildly disappointed to hear that. Just because, I mean, yeah, it's the end of an era, isn't it? We love to hate him, and now he's gone. Gone to Twitter, apparently. They broadcast video now? I don't know. They're Twitch now? I don't know. It's not useful to make fun of women on our own side. No, that's true, which is why I usually go after, like, Sam Cedar or Cenk Uygur, or who's the other one I like to make fun of a lot? Tucker Carlson. You know, men. He's not on our side, but you see what I'm saying. That's why I love you. Yeah, no friendly fire. No. I love you too, Mary. It was such a nice day. I'm not sitting over on my patio though because I found a massive spider over there this morning. I was just like, nope, it's too sunny over here anyway. I need this umbrella, and the umbrella had a spider in it, so we'll just sit on the porch. I tried to tell another so-called rad femme to stop being mean to women on our side, and she said, no, this is how I do my feminism. What? That's like campaigning for, you know, against cruelty to dogs while you leave your dog at home in a kennel. What the fuck? Well, you know, I mean, looking at your own internalized misogyny is hard. And I'm not trying to be, you know, facetious or glib in saying that. It is. I mean, for one thing, it's really difficult to see sometimes at all. I have found, anyway. You know, we're weaned on that shit. One time I can walk, I think, so at least. It's really, really deep down in there. A lot of really, really basic assumptions are built on that. So it can be just very much invisible. It's got to be what that is, right? You're doing feminism by attacking other women? What? Is this patently absurd? Is it not? I'm switching to my new computer and we'll be back under a different name. Rock and roll, girlfriend. I'll see you in a minute. Ooh. Woman, noun, adult, human, female. Hi! What up? I was just sitting here talking about how, I don't understand how attacking other women is doing feminism in a real way. And that's probably internalized misogyny, you know. Like, unpacking that shit is really, really hard. It is. And then the lady I was talking to is gonna go get on her computer, so she'll be back in a minute. How are you doing? I love your handle. Unless that's you, Mary, right now. In which case I just went by going over all that for no reason. But hey, I remembered what I was talking about, so that's good. Yeah. Been sleeping a lot more lately. Okay, that's me. Okay. Whatever. Anyways, I remember what I was talking about. And I've definitely noticed that recently. I've been putting an effort into getting more sleep, and it has helped. Wouldn't you know? Crazy, right? Just the most bonkers, right? Sleep is the best. Well, I mean, you know, to a certain extent, when you have a lot going on, it kind of feels like a self-indulgent waste of time past a certain point. Which I know is not right, because you can't pour from an empty cup and you're supposed to put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you attend to the child and blah, 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 blah. We know this. But it's harder to put it into practice sometimes. It's harder to actually stop. But it can be harder to actually do that. Easy to say, harder to actually do it. You know, to actually make yourself stop in the moment and say, no, it is midnight. I'm going to bed now. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, you know. That can be hard. Especially if you were, you know, running all day and didn't really get time to do anything you wanted to do. And it's finally been quiet for an hour. You know. Excuse me, I won't judge any mothers for their actions because having children is hard. Yeah. You know, and it has the level of importance that it is as far as, like, you know, the survival of the species and whatnot and the future of humanity. Like, I don't want to get dramatic. I fucking hate to be dramatic. Except Jeanette Jennings. Right, you know, and that's the thing. There has to be room. Just as there has to be room for agreeing to disagree, there has to be room for objections too. You know, just straightforward, no, I don't support that. I can't get behind that at all. You know, just straightforward to saying that. Totally judging Jazz Jennings' mother. Yeah. And, you know, that's an example of, you know, Jazz Jennings was a little boy. And there's nothing wrong with being a boy. Not really. And even if you think there is, they can't help that, can they? Right, poor little boy. Exactly. To do that to your son. He was never into boys. He was just girly. You know, and that's fairly common. And I have this theory that bisexual men exist. You know, I have this theory that that's a thing. I mean, they won't at this rate. They will become an endangered species if they're not rare already, which I suspect they are. Just like we bisexual women are pretty rare, I guess, but whatever. They exist though, and maybe he was one. Who knows? We'll never know now. Poor thing, you know. And the fact that he was a boy is pretty irrelevant to the fact that he's been terrifically abused. Right, we'll never know now. Yeah. You know, boy or girl, what they did to that child was terrible. You know, him being a boy is fairly incidental, I think, in a lot of ways. It's probably what got him into trouble, but otherwise, that mom belongs in jail. Yeah. And I think of that every time. I still occasionally hear this argument that no one under 18 is eligible for surgery, and I'm just like, you were not paying attention at all, are you? Because I think of Jazz every time I hear that. Because he was 17 when they, you know, cut him up. It's just insurance won't cover it. They still get it done. That's the loophole that allows them. So there's not the record of it in the insurance. The insurance numbers don't show it. That's how they can say that? That's horrible. Thank you for the explanation, but that's your theory? That's a good theory. That's a good theory. I kind of wondered, how can they say that? How can anyone possibly argue this? Because if you do but the most cursory search, the most surface level, basic Google search, you will find that that is not true at all. At all. Especially if you're talking about the top surgery. You don't have to be 18 to get that shit. You don't. They market that shit to underage girls. On purpose. Or they're lying. Yeah. A lot of the times they try to fudge stuff to lie, though. You know, like, just in case anybody looks into it surface level wise. They do tend to try to cover their ass, at least a little bit, you know, usually. So that would make sense. That would be a method of doing that. That would be a pretty straightforward method of doing that. Yeah, in case anybody decides, you know, gets a bug up their ass and says, you know what, I'm going to take a look at those insurance numbers. And then they wouldn't find it. And they would go, oh, okay, well, yeah. And they might not look any further. That would be exactly the kind of thing that I'd expect to see, really. And this is how I think, you know, you just kind of reverse engineer stuff. And you want to talk about being a nerd? I read Sherlock Holmes when I was in middle school. All of it. I had a big digest. And then I had The Hound of the Baskervilles in a separate, you know, book. So I've read all of it. Everything from A Scandal in Bohemia to, I think The Hound of the Baskervilles is the last one. Which I really enjoyed that one, actually. On a tangent, do you think that when you buy cigarettes and they scan your ID, do you think they sell that information to insurance companies? I don't know. They do not do that here. I live in rural Tennessee. So, not only do they not scan my ID when they, you know, when I have to show it to someone to buy cigarettes, I generally don't. Because I lived here for several years. And they've all carded me before, so I'm in there. They all know me. They don't scan your ID when you buy cig. No. Most of the time I don't show it to anyone either. Holy shit. No. Most of the time I don't even show it to anyone because, as I say, they know me. Because it's 1996 here forever, okay? It's like we don't even live in the same. Yeah. Yeah. It is a lot like that sometimes. Do you not have Wawas? Like that George Harrison song? I don't need your Wawa. If you don't know that one, look it up. It's fun. Right, what's a Wawa? Yeah, I don't know. What are you talking about? I have no idea what that is. It's like a 7-Eleven. Oh, okay. We have convenience stores. It's 1996, not 1896. Yeah, there's one at the bottom of the hill called Little Dandy. Which I don't think is a chain. Its policy is to scan the ID every time. Then yes, they're probably selling that information to someone. If they make them do it. Is there no reason to do that? You work there, you know. Yeah. They're probably selling that to somebody, yeah. Because there's no reason to do that. Again, if you smoke cigarettes, you are purchasing them regularly. Probably at a few of the same locations around your daily routine, you know. So, hello, B. Thank you for confirming my suspicions. Oh, yeah. Well, think about that. There's no reason to card the same person day after day after day after day. Exactly. Why would they not track that? Well, why would they? Is my question. The whole business is of anybody's. Why would anyone be interested in some random person's smoking habits? Well, it's like when you sell the cigarette, you're prompted on the screen to scan the ID. And right, someone wrote it into the software to make sure you wouldn't forget. There's no way, right? Now I understand that. But as a human being, it makes no sense to ID the same person repeatedly. I'm agreeing with you, but I think it sounds like arguing. Not like angry arguing. You know, maybe debating a little. It's good. I can dig that. And I'm just trying to clarify my point, you know, that as a person, it doesn't make any sense to ID the same people over and over. Just want to be clear, I agree with you completely. Yes. Right on. So the only reason that they would do that, especially if it's built into the software and you cannot forget, is because they're collecting data. And they don't want any gaps in that data, because it would fuck up the collection of it. You know, the collation of it. Like I would have to card my own brother, you know. Right. Which on a human level, which we are, makes no sense. I don't know how much older or younger you are than your brother, but there are siblings who witnessed their brother's birth, you know? You would know exactly how old that person is. And you have to card them anyway, because the software says. That's not dystopian at all. I remember when that became a joke. Oh my god, I'm so glad I'm not addicted to cigarettes, because I accidentally left my ID in the scanner. When getting my blood taken, I wouldn't be able to buy cigarettes. You can get another ID. I don't know how much they are up there. They're probably stupidly, ridiculously expensive up there. Down here, you can get one for like $12 or some crazy shit like that. Because again, it is forever 1996 down here. I do have a smartphone, but that's about it. Not a big deal. I pick it up Monday when they're open. Ah! Right, because you need the ID every time. I forgot about that again, because I've never, even when I lived in Ohio in the last decade at this point, okay, it's been almost 8 years. They called me to let me know I left it there. That was nice of them. As long as they don't know who it belongs to, I guess. I need to show my ID at the medical card at the dispensary. Which, I mean, I can see them being a little tighter about that kind of thing. I'm not sure that it's warranted, per se, but it's a lot newer. isn't it? Talking about being grandfathered into things, cigarettes, tobacco. It's grandfathered into American culture in a way that marijuana is not, right? So I can't go to the dispensary till I get my ID back, but I am so stocked up. Rock and roll, yeah, it was Friday yesterday, so. Yep. Oh. The one in walking distance needs it, but the further ones don't. But how you gonna get there? Wait, you probably could ride the bus hypothetically. Nah, I've been stocked up. Rock and roll. I get the feeling your situation's a little different than mine. I had a thing on Wednesday and needed edibles. Oh, I have a thing on Wednesday. I have a stress test on Wednesday. What thing did you have on Wednesday? Live near Philly. No way I'm taking a bus. That's what my husband says about Cleveland. I used to do it every once in a while. I would walk down and take the train. No, I used to take the bus to work every day at one point. At dinner with my mom, she hit me with her car, and I didn't even flinch. Like on Wednesday, she hit you with her car? Are you okay? She backed up on me. By accident, I hope. I assume. Are you okay? You would have mentioned before now if you had like been injured by your mother running you over, right? Yeah, right outside the restaurant. She slowly backed up and the car told her to stop. Not injured. Good. Okay, yeah, so it's got the alarm, the backup alarm. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I had someone back into me with an open door once. That wasn't fun. The car made noises, yeah. Well, her car was older, and anyway, it was just like she was backing up with the door open, and I was standing in the open door, so. Yeah, I don't even think those alarms work that way. They might want to look into that, honestly. Wasn't fun. Life is such an adventure, isn't it? Tra-la-la. She told me to go in the restaurant, and I had to walk around the car. So I walked behind it, and then she backed up, not driving straight. So she's being kind of a dink? Is that? Mom's kind of not paying attention. Now I wouldn't know what that's like. I think she forgot I existed. Oh my goodness, you put so much effort into having a child to forget that they're there. Imagine. I don't know, it reminds me of that case of that fella who left his kid in the car, his baby in the car, and the baby died. She didn't see me in front of the car and backed up. Yeah, like not thinking that through, I think, right? Well, I'm glad you're alright. But like, people were actually willing to admit, they're willing to entertain the idea that this fellow had just managed to forget about his baby in the back of his car while he was at work all day. I'm so glad other people witnessed it. Oh, the dude with the baby in the car, or you and your mom? Your thing. Other people witnessed your thing? Why is that a big deal? Your mom backing into you. Other people witnessed it, so they know you're okay, or? I think I'm gonna start at least lighting them off camera. You know, like old-timey TV. And I got hit by my mom's car. They were like, what the fuck, are you okay? My heart would be racing. Oh, so they pointed out to you that you... And I was so chilling because of edibles. That sounds lovely. You're not gonna believe this, but the couple, 2 or 3 times I've gotten to try those, they don't really work for me. And I know that that sounds crazy. And no one ever believes me. You know, I'm always told, just wait a little while. And I do, and still nothing happens. And then by then it's too late to eat anymore, you know. Oh shit, I ate a ton. Oh, I ate a ton of shit. I ate so many different kinds. Okay, now I've never had the opportunity to try that because again, illegal here. So. It is like we don't live in the same country a lot of the time, isn't it? Isn't that funny? Must have eaten like 100 milligrams. Went to the dispensary and got literally 10 different things. Oh, so jealous. I was gonna go ahead and pretend a couple of them were for me. You did a couple of those for me. Thank you. Goddamn. You live in the United States as well. That's just... It's really a remarkable thing, you know, and seems sort of counterproductive to the whole union thing, really, just in general and in the long run. And if I ever come visit, rock and roll girlfriend, if you ever come visit, we're getting a hotel room because you don't want to stay here. Nothing against you or them or anything, but like it is a crowded house. Woo! We got 1 bathroom and 6 people already. You don't want to do that. How far are you from the beach? A day? Let's get a motel on the beach? I mean, that's cool. That sounds fun. That wouldn't be you visiting me. That would be us going to the beach together because I live nowhere near a beach. I live near the Smoky Mountains. So. They're nice too. Well, they're more than nice. They're amazing. Again, originally from Indiana. There are no mountains in Indiana. Ocean City, Maryland is halfway. Okay. You're probably a lot closer to the coast than I am. Being near Philly. Yeah. You're like a lot closer to the coast than I am. As in like kind of right there, right? This is the part where I get to admit to getting Pittsburgh and Philadelphia confused every once in a while. I live in the Pocono Mountains. They look pretty, but are such a pain in the ass. Like a 4 to 5 hour drive. To Maryland? Wait, to the ocean? Philly is close to Jersey. Right, so you're much closer to the ocean than me. I am a day's drive over the Appalachian Mountains to the coast from here. From here to the ocean's 2 hours. Yeah, I am nowhere near a day trip. Easily. It would take me all day to get there. Yeah. If you look at the map, I'd have to go to Virginia. Might as well fly? Yeah. Except no. Plus, I don't know. I have this terrible habit of wanting to leave when I want to leave places. Just generally. And liking to be able to do that. So, yeah, I don't know. I would probably drive anyway. It's only an afternoon, you know, what the fuck? As I've said, I've gone back and forth between Indy and Cleveland forever. That's a 5 hour drive if you don't stop. So. Yeah. And it's not like a problem. It's not doable or anything. It wouldn't be visiting me, that's all. Because the coast is nowhere near here. And the Smoky Mountains are so amazing and wild that there's a whole subcategory of mystery stories of people going missing there, never being seen or heard from again. Any lakes? Oh, yeah. There's one right near here, actually. It is an artificial lake, I'm pretty sure, but it's an old one. So, you know, they actually call this region, is it nice? Yeah. Yeah, there's a really nice park that butts right up against it in one place I know. They actually call this area Lake something. Like Lakeview region or something like that. Can you swim in it? Oh, yeah. People do all the time. You know, around here, a more popular thing is wading, of course. But, shoot, we did that yesterday. Oh, yeah, I'll just take you to the big state park near here, duh. Obviously. I was there yesterday. It's very nice. Because, you know, in the hills of Tennessee, you know, shit is literally famous for being pretty. And they are. It's not a lie. I wish I could show you, you know, a little bit more from, yeah. So we went wading yesterday, and then the lake is right over there, too, by the park. I wish I could post, I have a map, actually. But then that would give away where I am, specifically. So, anyway, it's, you know, full of footpaths, and it butts right up against the big lake, and there's brooks to wade in, and it's all the whole bit. But yeah, I would definitely take, you know, if anybody came to really visit me for any length of time, which, interestingly, has not really happened since I've lived here. But if that did happen, that is probably where I would take somebody. One of the first places I would take them, you know. And then, you know, depending on interest and level of ability, you know. Some of those trails are more challenging than others. But, like, some people just aren't interested in that stuff, I guess. Who in the world isn't interested in a nice nature walk? I don't know, but some people. Or, you know, they're just not that able to get around. Not a fan of hiking. That's what I'm saying, a nature walk. Right. And I understand that not everybody wants to go fucking rock climbing. Not everybody wants to, you know, breathe heavy and sweat in the woods. That's fine. No sense of direction. I do. You're highly unlikely to get lost, generally speaking, with me around. Don't like sweating. Yeah, no, like I say, I understand that not everybody is down for an intense hike up a mountainside to get that. But that's what I'm saying. This state park is nice in that way. It's, you know, supposed to be for everybody, so they have a lot of variation in the trails. Showered twice yesterday. Oh my god. My skin would dry up and blow away if I tried to do that. Shower twice daily. Oh my god. I have such dry skin, it's so terrible. Honestly, living down here where it's so humid helps. Living down here helps a couple of different things, like stupid seasonal depression. It's mostly gone. I'm addicted to sugar-free energy drinks. 0.81 miles away, so I walk there. Well, you know, it's nice to find a way to make your addictions work for you, I guess. If you gotta do it, you might as well do it in a way that helps you somehow. I cannot seem to keep this lit, though. It's almost like I don't really want it. Now I got this amazing salve from the dispensary that I put on my sunburned skin. Are you pale as well? I took my little red-haired son to the park yesterday with no sunscreen. He appears to be okay, because I'm not stupid enough to let him take his shirt off. Yeah, I bribed myself with them for taking a walk. Right? Yeah. I almost glow in the dark pale. Oh, wow. You're not also a redhead, are you? That would be hilarious. It'd be especially hilarious if you never thought to mention that before. Blonde. Nice. My academic friend is blonde. Mom is a natural redhead. Nice. Yeah. Her husband is a natural redhead. He could be like my older brother from a parallel dimension. It's so funny. Because he reminds me a bit of my dad. It takes him, he's just a little bit pompous like that, you know. He's also an academic, you know, so it fits. Not that he doesn't earn it or anything. It's just, it's a little annoying sometimes. But it's, you know, he's not my husband. He's good to her. And that's all that really matters. They have 4 daughters, as I mentioned. 3 of them have bright red hair. And the 4th one is a little blonde. Like her mama. Those 2 can't do teach. Sometimes. You know, I think it depends on the subject. And his subject is similar to hers. It's a bit esoteric. No, it is just a joke. It's sometimes true, though, and that's why it's funny. And sometimes you can't do it because you're old or have had some sort of an injury or whatever. So, you know, sometimes it's true not because you're an asshole or an idiot, but because, you know, life. Also, I just have this problem with analyzing humor because I like to find the truth in it and why it's funny. So, I've been accused in the past of being funny myself and perhaps being, you know, missing the calling as a stand-up comic. You like that too? Cool. But, you know, again, at the same time, I love to say, I'll take a joke and I'll say, yeah, and that's funny because blah, and not everybody likes that. Not everybody likes having their jokes explained back to them. I don't think that's the reaction most people expect. My God, yes, I would like to be a stand-up too. Like, I think a lot of people would love to be a stand-up. My problem is you know, amusing spontaneously. Oh, go on tour together. Shit, yeah. Can you actually write jokes? Because that's my problem. Like, and like, there's a couple of scenes in the book, actually, that I did not expect to be so damn funny that, at least to me, in a couple of spots, are chuckle out loud hilarious because of the interactions between the characters. I got a few funny things they said to get laughs. Yeah, and you actually managed to get them written down? Because I can never seem to manage to write any of it down. Because it's me ranting about something, you know, in the moment, and people will laugh and they'll say, no, it's not what you said, it was how you said it. So, you know, I suppose even if I did write them down on paper, it wouldn't look funny. You know, kind of like the scene I'm thinking of where, like, there are 5 characters interacting with one another. I've got a few, you know, and the interactions just ended up being pretty funny. Like, it ended up playing out in this way that was like, oh my gosh, you know. And I don't know if it's gonna strike everyone that way, but like, poor Liz. And I just, and you know, like the social mores of the time, like this woman, this servant is trying to get her bearings and not doing, you know, having much luck. And the residents of the house are just sitting there and letting this happen. And they're not raising a finger to help her because that's her job. Like, I have a true story about when I was first learning Spanish and when trying to ask, how old are you? How many years do you have? Right. I was asking, how many anus did you have? Whoopsie. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Bit risque. You know, so part of the comedy comes from just the class, you know, differences and expectations. But true story. No, you know, that's a good one. And also, you know, one of them is not, but like one of the residents is not really, you know, he's the one that's been doing all the stuff all along before they got there. And then this woman has just kind of come in and taken over everything. And it's like, okay, well, have fun with that. You know, and it's just really, his attitude is really funny. And then, you know, the interactions between these characters ended up being like the situation was comical. And I did not go into writing any of this expecting it to be funny. But on the other hand, I figure when you're dealing with dark material, having a little bit of lightness in there, because life is like that. Life is just not dark all the time. So I let it happen. You know, it's in there like that. It's a scene pretty early in the third book. It's not even dark humor. It's not. I mean, it's a little, like I say, there's a little bit of some satirical comment on like class and stuff like that. But hey, baby, see, I told you he'd be here. It literally is like it could be a scene in a sitcom. You know, an intelligent sitcom. What's up, baby? See if we can't get this pointed your way too, or something. There we go. Now we're both on camera. I was just telling him about I read you this scene, the one with Liz in the bucket, where Ben's been doing all the cooking and Liz is there and like taking over, and so
and
he's
they
kind
gotta
of
get the water.
right. Yeah.
Take a second.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was just like, I didn't mean for any of it. I didn't go in thinking any of this shit would be funny. But that scene literally could be in, you know, in a Neil Simon play. Like, it's not dark. But I figure, she says, "Ah, hi, sir. Speaking of, young Sheldon is getting really good." What? No way. I don't believe it. How?
No, they're getting ready to kill the dad.
No, I know, but that part was, as you said before, baked in from the beginning, apparently. So I don't see that as being particularly interesting, is it? I don't know. I'm kind of humble bragging about the scene being funny. I hope other people think it's funny. Because I wasn't expecting to have that actually in there. I wasn't managing to actually pull that off. You hope.
Well, you put enough words together, even you can crack a joke.
Ouch. The other characters are really good. Right? That's funny. The other characters are really good. Yeah, I've noticed. I've seen a couple of previews I've happened upon for whatever reason. I think it must be, you know, on the cable when it's in, you know, on in the other room. I've stumbled upon a couple of previews for that show recently, and I noticed that Sheldon's not in it a whole lot. Apparently, seemingly lately. I'm looking forward to reading the next paragraph of your book. I have no attention span. Well, I'm looking forward to that as well. I am copying notes over currently to go back and start editing that at the beginning, so I almost wouldn't bother right now. Because the next 3 weeks I'm going to be, you know, fiddling with it. But, you know, I would love your opinion, so if you get to it and you have the inclination, go for it. Anyway. And then it's going to be different later, because I have to... and there's a couple of things that like have to change all the way through. I mean, not all the way through, because that character's not in every scene. Thank goodness. But oh my god.
Are you talking about Richard or something?
Fred. Why did I do that? Oh my god. Oh well. It's fine. Everyone watches Young Sheldon for the other characters. We just put up with Sheldon being there.
It's just like the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. That's exactly like the other show that he's originally from. That's almost as if he's not as strong a character as he is popular. Right? How about that?
Well, it's a character that's designed to be, you know, off-putting and arrogant, and
yeah,
you know, it's hard to believe he's not relatable.
Right.
What's relatable about is the other characters having to put up with him. It's like we all have some asshole that we're trying to be friends with,
or related to.
Yeah.
Present company accepted, obviously.
I want to say
yeah. So you really haven't heard from my mom since, yeah.
I haven't heard from your mom since
Even after you sent her those videos the other night?
I didn't send them to her through text message. I sent them to her over Facebook because they were too big.
Mm.
Um, she normally responds to, "Oh, that's cute," when I send her a text video.
No, but the other characters on The Big Bang Theory suck too. They were pretty shallow, but that show is a pretty straightforward sitcom that people, I think, tried to make more than it was because of the setting, and the sort of characters that it dealt with.
Well,
Because those characters that,
for the first couple of seasons, the first 2 or 3, they were set up as, a group of awkward geeks who were very,
right,
they had their own thing.
Right.
And it did all right. And then, I think it was the second or third season, they got rid of all the original writers and brought in a new crew. And that's when it started being, they introduced the female.
They always do that shit with,
Well, they started, suddenly the characters became less awkward. And everything, I guess more stereotypical. I don't know. After a point, I just stopped watching.
The dorkability of The Big Bang Theory, it's so bad that show is so misogynist. No, I love that video. I guess he was saying that in the early seasons, their, behavior was less successful in their, endeavors with the opposite sex, and then later on it became more so. And I've heard this other places, for no apparent reason. They just all of a sudden started getting dates and action and stuff, even though they were still the same dorky assholes. Yeah, I'm so glad you saw it too. I've seen, yeah.
And then the entire relationship between Penny and what's his name. I mean, it was. She had nothing but disdain for Leonard and how she. Maybe not in how she treated him, but in her actions and, everything that she expressed. And,
And they played it for laughs.
Right.
She was the pretty girl who, was pity dating him. Basically. Because for some reason she didn't have a better option. They literally wrote it that way, and I don't remember how they did it. This is not the opinion of Rad Mom's husband show. Hey, you know what?
Well,
I am going to let him make points because I have him as a guest. That just seems to make sense to me.
You guys started talking about...
Yeah. And I've made points, and I let you make one, and that's fine. By my estimation, anyway. I mean, it's really stifling,
I don't know, you were talking about the book that I haven't been able to read yet, so I don't know.
No, I literally read you that scene, though. And it was just that I was talking about, because, I don't know, I'm proud of that. We were talking about being funny, and, by accident, basically. And I count that as an example of that, because, man, I did not sit down to write any of it and think to myself, gosh, this part's going to be really funny. This is the part that I've designed to be comedic and lighthearted, where, we get to see these characters just interact as normal human beings. Ooh, he got mad. Fair enough. I'm sorry, man. But we get to just see these characters just kind of interacting as ordinary human beings around the kitchen table, and it ended up being kind of funny. Oops. I don't know. Some accidents are the kind of thing you wish you could actually take credit for.
Well, it's like the thing you were saying a while back, how drama, good dramas have comedy in it, naturally worked in, because you have those moments, those slice of life that are humorous.
Your life's just not like that. It's just not dark all the time. And even as a viewer or a reader, if it's just heavy all the way through, it just gets to be extra heavy. And melodramatic, and God, I don't want that. Like the humor in Breaking Bad. Is that true? I did not watch Breaking Bad.
I loved Breaking Bad. There were some fun moments in there. I don't know if they were fun. Most of it was Jesse Pinkman throwing bitch in a just a tension breaking moment.
I don't know this, but in a thing like that, I suspect there was some slapstick went on. There were some funny things said. Magnets. Is there any coffee?
No.
Could you make some, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
I don't know if it counts as slapstick.
Yeah, science. Yeah, bitch. Magnets. These things mean nothing to me.
Oh, that Jesse Pinkman.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I figure, but I
you were talking about slapstick. There is a moment when Walter runs over a dude in his car. That was pretty funny. Very unexpected.
Right. See, that's the kind of thing I would expect from a show like that. Dude, Howard, tripped on the carpet and hit his head on oranges and fell on his head. See? Because violence is slapstick sometimes, right?
Oh, I don't know if this
is.
I don't know if this counts as slapstick, but it's humorous.
No, not Howard. Ted. Okay. Okay.
They were dissolving a body in a bathtub, and they used the wrong type of acid, so it ate through the bathtub and the floor. So they're walking through the house, and this dissolved body splooshes down in front of them.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's... I don't know if that's slapstick, but it's definitely something.
You gotta get together. I don't know.
No, right. It's the unexpectedness of it that would make you laugh. Right? Where it's just kind of, holy shit, right?
Right.
Yeah. That was scary. Oh my god, that's not funny. That was scary. Right. But see.
That was hilarious.
Well, see, now this is a good example of one of the things that I just love in these discussions when people have completely opposite reactions to the exact same thing. It exposes a difference in perspective, that's all. I don't think either of you would be wrong in your interpretation of that. I can see it either way. I did not watch it, so I have no personal opinion. His opinion is wrong.
Yeah.
Wink, I'm just joking. His opinion is automatically wrong anyway.
I don't know. HR told me my opinion was wrong more than once, so yeah, I'm inclined to believe.
One thing you cannot say about this man is that he has no sense of humor. It is weird and dark and twisted sometimes, but it's definitely there. No one can say you don't have a sense of humor there.
I mean, we're quite married.
I know. I'm so funny looking. Playing practical jokes on yourself over here.
Mm-hmm. Every day I wake up.
Why would you do such a silly thing? Wake up?
I know. I keep expecting you to strangle me with that CPAP cord.
I thought that's why you got it. Isn't it supposed to do that for me?
No, it's the exact opposite.
Oh. Well, you can't use it then, obviously. Let's put it up.
Oh, you're the one that gets to listen to me snore.
Which I never really minded. It was just loud.
My Uncle Jack could snore so loud, he actually kept the neighbor's kids up one time.
Yeah, the window was open though, right?
No.
No?
No.
Oh my god.
We had, I think it was like winter, so we had all the windows shut so the heat was on.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I miss him.
It's funny. I had 2 people pass recently, didn't I? I guess my mom had 2 people pass recently. Her estranged husband and her brother. Kind of funny we haven't heard from her. Isn't it?
No.
No? I mean, not for her.
I mean,
not funny for her.
She did not contact us on a regular basis before.
No, I know.
Her and Brian were already, separated, so there's nothing really new in her life.
Yeah,
except,
but Paul
she
was
doesn't
one of
have
her
to
best
visit
friends.
And he's been dead for months.
I know.
She's probably over it by now.
Losses. I'm sorry for your losses. Yeah, thank you. I was not really close with either of them. That's why I kind of put it to my mother, because she was, you know, close with both of them, at least at one point. I'm talking my stepdad and my uncle, who lived in another state my whole life, so.
Not her stepdad, her uncle.
Right, yeah. The stepdad lived with us for quite some time. So that was fun. As those things often are. No, not like that, though. Not like that. No. We just, did not always get along. But he spoiled the shit out of... No, it wasn't that he spoiled him. Like, he really actually tried to have a relationship with my son. Which is more than my mother did, so... That was kind of weird. But obviously, I had to go with it. So... Because the little boy didn't know that's not his grandfather. And his real grandfather, my father, is a fucking maniac, so, it's just as well. So that was fine, but we were not close. Still, it's weird. He did our taxes and then died. He was an accountant, so he always did my taxes.
Literally, yeah. Like, he passed away the day after they got submitted.
Yeah, he filed our taxes and then died. So it was rather unexpected, you might say, for sure. And he was 74 or something like that, so, not unexpected in that way. My dad was an accountant, and he did my taxes, and he died. I'm sorry for your loss, too, I guess. I am. I'm sorry if you're sorry, if that was rough for you. I'm bad at this because both my parents are assholes with chronic illnesses, so I've been wondering why in the world are either of them still alive for 25 years. So I'm bad at this.
There needs to be a phrase better than "I'm sorry for your loss." Like,
yeah,
appropriate emotions given. Like, I'm having a baby. Congratulations. Nope, I'm going to the abortion. I'm going to the clinic to get this shit taken care of. Me,
Then not congratulations.
Right, or I'm sorry, my dad died. I'm sorry for your loss. He was an asshole. Then I'm not sorry.
Right, yeah. Oh, I'm getting a divorce. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. No, I'm really glad of it. Well, then I'm happy for you and congrats,
Appropriate capitulations?
Right, yeah. Yes, it's more like a congratulations and condolence. 3rd year in a row, I had to get my taxes done myself.
One of these days, I want to get my EA and I'll do your taxes.
That's what he does. He's done QuickBooks tech support for years. And he does bookkeeping on the side and this numbers guy. Thank goodness, because you remember we were talking earlier about not everybody can be good at everything. Anybody can be good at anything. You cannot be good at everything. There. That. This is delegating. I have no problem delegating the numbers to the person who's actually good with them. Not that I don't deal with money ever, or look at that ever. Exactly. You cannot be good at everything. Right. So, and that's just and this is interesting. I know that you're single by choice, so I don't know if you have a whole lot of experience in this area, but, we have really simply, for the most part, tried to divide I hesitate to use the word labor, because that sounds like, blood, sweat, and tears kind of stuff. But like the chores, the tasks. There we go. We try to divide the tasks around here as much as we can along the level of, lines of ability, And it's surprising sometimes when that doesn't line up with gender stereotypes, and then it's surprising how often it does as well. Right? Like that right there, you being better at math.
Oh.
To the point where I'm just like, just do the budget. Just give me a budget. Just do it.
Before I went into business, I wanted to go into engineering. And before that, I went to flight school. So,
boy stuff. I like music and writing and art.
Music.
Everybody likes music, but I'm good at music and writing and art. Girl stuff. But then you're a good cook and you love to cook. And quite frankly,
Guys, I had a chickpea salad that will blow your mind.
yeah, I lived with 3 different boyfriends, all in my 20s.
At the same time? That's...
He's gonna be here all week, folks.
Tip your waitress.
Don't. Tipping's bad. We pay them. Anyway. Or we would if we had. Yeah. No, not all at once. Presumably, obviously. Like,
I was just thinking Futurama, Fry's date. So,
yeah, Fry's girlfriend, the chief of police,
yeah.
who has 7 boyfriends or whatever it was. 20 to 22, 22 and 23 to 29. 22 and 23 to 29. So the last one was the longest. That makes sense. More experienced. My last one's been the longest too, I think.
8.5 years. No, 7.
Almost 8.
Yeah.
It'll be 8 next
this
month.
year, yeah.
We were together till he died. Oh, I'm sorry. Now that's rough. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I hope it was not too bad for either of you. Too painful for either of you. Oh gosh. Again, I don't know what to say. I'm so bad at this. I've had the amazing luck of never really losing anyone, which is ironic because most of the people in my family are sickly assholes. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and then the rebound guy died when I was 32.
He must have been the 23.
So forgive me, but that might lend a slightly different angle to the single by choice bit. Very relatable. It's a lot of pain. I'm sorry. So that's pretty much why I'm done with relationships. Yeah. No, it's a lot of pain. Yeah, that's understandable. It's easier to just say I'm celibate than to get into that. Yeah, understandable as well, because it's really a bummer. Well, yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, I could probably match you if you want. It'd be of a different sort. But yeah, like we all have. I'm sorry, honey, to hear that. That's rough, really. I don't know what else to say. And a conversation killer. Yeah, there you go. See, hey, you're real good at this. Random shiny change of topic.
I was just thinking about how having your partners die would throw a plot twist in As Good as It Gets and High Fidelity.
Let's do those one at a time, starting with High Fidelity, because I don't remember As Good as It Gets very well.
John Cusack is dating that girl who they separate, and then he goes through this existential crisis, and he starts, finding all these people he used to, the top 5
he
worst
goes back to his old girlfriends, yeah.
Right. So,
kind of like, what's his face versus the universe or whatever, but good.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, that one that's like a video game movie.
Scott Pilgrim versus...
Yes, that one.
Yeah, but he's trying to date Fiona, and it's her exes who are fighting him.
Right, no, it's a lot like that, but I hadn't realized that was so similar. I don't like Scott Pilgrim, so High Fidelity is a far better film.
Well, Scott Pilgrim is more about him going through it's him discovering himself, because even though he's presented initially as sympathetic, as the story progresses, you realize he's kind of an immature dick. He's hurt a lot of people because he's being immature, just not facing up to things.
Yeah.
And at the end, He doesn't.
Oh, okay. I spotted that instantly and probably missed it throughout the rest of the film because of all the shiny. Oh, want to hear something really tragic about my story? I mean, no, but of course. Please, go on.
Not only did the car crash, I hit the cat in the road.
You know, I mean, dude, you know, her mother hit her with a car, doesn't it? Like, just backing up in a parking lot, you know, and, like, the alarm went off, and, like, she's fine, but it's funny you would say that. Anyways, fuck Scott Pilgrim. I do not know why I brought that up. That was a mistake. High Fidelity. Wouldn't it be funny if the girlfriend he's having an existential crisis about passed away?
No. He's trying to go back. You know, he's got his top 5 ex-girlfriends, and he's trying to go back through that.
Uh-huh.
You know,
but find the one, right?
No. Just to find out what's wrong with him.
Ah, right. A journey of personal understanding. What a concept. Right. Okay.
But you know, if one was dead, one would not be able to go back and question why you broke up with me.
That's true.
Right.
And that would add a wrinkle to that plot. That's true. It would really kind of make it a different sort of story. You know, because then he'd be left pondering mortality as well. Make it a lot heavier. I'm not saying it'd be bad. Just saying, I think it might be less light, you know, I don't know. I like that they stuck with the relationships and stuff, you know, as themes. But it'd be a movie to watch. I'd watch that movie too.
Yeah.
Complete, you know, cast unchanged, obviously. Not like John Cusack can't do serious.
No, John Cusack's my favorite.
Right.
I want to see John Cusack and Keanu Reeves in a movie.
There are people who wouldn't be able to keep them straight from one scene to the next.
Oh my God.
The boyfriend I had for 6 years died February 13th, and my dad died February 15th, 2014 and 2021. I consider myself lucky that I didn't have to break up with them. Okay, now we will change the subject back to who should you make fun of? Yeah, I would love suggestions for that.
Tucker Carlson's a good one.
Yeah, but he just got fired from Fox News. And we were talking about funny, you know, goofy TRAs. You know, like goofy liberal people.
Okay.
Preferably men. No friendly fire, you know. I consider myself lucky that you didn't have to break up with them.
Oh.
Like, he died the day before Valentine's Day, and then your dad died the day after Valentine's Day. That fucking sucks.
At least they were in 2 different years.
Yeah. Yeah, there is that. Although that does sort of make one feel a bit more, like, haunted, right? Like, almost feels like more of a coincidence. Maybe. Yes, YouTube deleted a comment. YouTube deleted a comment? Again?
Yes, honey. Yes, honey.
What's up, little man?
What's up?
It's no coffee. What is it, little man? Oh.
It's not important.
Love you.
What's
Man,
his
if we
name?
wanted, we could just have the Owen show and make bank. The 3 boyfriends I had before the 2 dead ones become... Oh. Wanting to end themselves. So the ones who did not perish, ended up in such a state as wanting to end their own lives later on, anyway.
Okay.
Apparently. So she feels like, you know, maybe she shouldn't date people, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah. That sucks. That's rough. And strange. And I have no... I wish I could, you know, say anything, because, I mean, goodness knows, we both have talked about this, where you just kind of end up in some of the same patterns over and over again in relationships in strange ways. Oh yeah, that's right. Are you gonna take me over?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's easy to see that, to think that people, I somehow break people when they date me. But the reverse is as equally true, as that damaged people are attracted to you. So you could, be more selective about, make them take make them take that personality assessment for you on a date.
Hey,
I
there are
mean,
people who do weirder things these days. Yeah, I really enjoy being single. But yeah, she really enjoys being
Yeah.
single, so
okay.
it's not a problem to solve, I guess.
No, I just don't. I I hate the idea of people saying, "Oh, everyone I date,
You're right. I'm
does
cursed
something." Right,
to be
right.
alone. Oh my god, no. It's that our parents model our idea of love, and that's what we do. I mean, yes. To a large extent, yes. But it's also our interpretation of that. You know? We're not just the result of our environment. We have to synthesize it, you know, into a perspective, basically. It's not attracting the wrong people. I think there's definitely some truth there because I've noticed, not to be therapist or talk out of school here, but I've noticed that we've developed certain patterns between the two of us that are just disgustingly familiar to me. And I've had to ask myself how much of that is me, you know, kind of sculpting the relationship, if you know what I mean. Through my own behavior and how I respond to you and therefore teach you to interact with me.
Hmm.
It's actually been a pretty fruitful line of thought. You work on yourself and it's hard. Right, yeah. And so, it would be very easy to just say, oh, I just attract this kind of person or this kind of relationship. And kind of leave it at that, but I'm not content with that at all. Because I can't do anything with that. What is that, that's not a tool for me to accomplish anything with. That's an excuse. Right? Which is not good for anything, because those do not solve my conscience very well at all. Yeah, my parents' relationship model is a great reason for me to not seek a relationship. I mean, yes, and that does play a part in it, you know. The fact that your parents held on for dear life when maybe they shouldn't. Yeah. And mine definitely affected me because my parents have been divorced since I was fucking 5 years old. And I've never, ever, ever, ever wanted one. A divorce. You know? It's a big part of the reason I didn't get married till I was in my 30s. I was pretty settled that we could make this work somehow. And would.
Hmm.
That we would actually work together. Not like gel together, but we do. But like actually work with one another. Worst case scenario, we would end up agreeing to disagree over something important and, keep our distance or something. I don't know. But I just don't see you coming after me and making my life a living hell. Because I just don't see myself as being the sort of person that would push you like that. I don't want that. Who the fuck wants that? Even if it just, for some reason just ends up getting to a place where it just completely doesn't work anymore. That's my vision of how that would go out. Where we would just be like, fuck, this isn't working anymore. Well, I guess we're gonna go and do something else, and, respectively. If you need anything, good luck. That's my idea. I don't. What am I gonna do? Fight you? For what? The kids?
You already get more than half.
No, but you don't fight over children anyway. That's stupid. And we don't own anything, so.
The car.
Oh, goody! The car I drive every day anyway.
Like I said, you already get more than half. You divorce me, I'd win. Yay, Matt SS.
Yeah. And speaking as a child of divorce, you don't fight over children. That's not a thing. Your kids are gonna love you both, no matter what you do. And trying to change that is just really gonna traumatize them badly. Yep. You didn't do that, but you didn't have to. His ex-wife is amazing.
Amazingly bad.
Yes. Shockingly bad. This the sort of person that you don't want to believe exists until you meet them. You know? I did believe it though when you told me. You know, I know people like that exist. She's not a serial killer or anything, but in another life, you know.
She very well could have been.
Yeah. That's the level of bad vibes, to put it mildly. He is so quiet and polite. My next door neighbor is moving. He is so quiet and polite. Ooh. I hope loud people don't move in. Me too.
Your phone.
Thank
The
you
university
for
is
listening
out.
to me. Yeah, of course. I mean, that's a big part of the reason I have him here too, honestly, is I'm not here to talk to myself. I like talking to you. I like talking to him. I married him. You know. Guilty. I do enjoy his company every once in a while. And yours. You know. I come out here to hang out with you and whoever else happens by. I can talk to myself whenever I want. And do. Often. Right? It's a wonder I don't get laryngitis. Love you too. Mwah. Ah. But then, yeah, conversation.
Well, what do you want to talk about?
What do I want to talk about? Oh my gosh. All I want to talk about is my book. I can't. So, I'm kind of counting on you guys. Who am I going to make fun of?
What's that kid who got his chin chopped off? Jesse Gender?
There we go. How about that, huh? How about I take a clip from a Jesse Gender video, eh? Ilya, you have built a home, thanks God.
Oh my God!
I don't really.
Wait. And we could be, if you want to be a real dick about it, you could have a picture of Jesse Gender and give him the chin from the tick.
Oh my God! No. No.
Dude,
Jesse Gender is pure gold. There you go.
Oh my God!
There you go.
You don't have to Photoshop it. Just ask ChatGPT to do it. Jesse Gender with the tick's chin.
Look, the phone's dying already. God damn it. But you know what? I got a really easy solution to that. So I gotta go pour a cup of coffee anyway. I'm just gonna have to leave you in his hands for a couple of minutes while I go in and get the phone cord and a cup of coffee. You want a cup of coffee?
Sure.
Be nice.
I said sure.
No.
Of course it would be nice to know.
Oh, you have to pee. So let's take a commercial break. Can I advertise your business?
No.
Oh well. Sit here and hang for a minute. I'm gonna go get a cup of coffee, 2 cups of coffee, and the phone cord. And I'm showing off my strawberries. This is the one strawberries.
Those are some pretty strawberries.
Aren't they? Maybe I'll bring the rest that I haven't set out. Show them off too.
Oh, it's. Yeah, you can have some of the AIs. I think Chat GPT will. You can give it a writing prompt, and it will make images and pictures and stuff like that for you. There's a couple of them out there that will put up different types of pictures. Like give you like 4 options. It's pretty neat. A few weeks ago, Sarah and I were talking about different subjects to do. It was just after Mulvaney got the sponsorship with Budweiser or Nike about what was it? Not necessarily personal accountability, but of not personal accountability, but how the Mulvaney was asked about a prisoner who had been housed with, or a trans rapist who had been put into a prison with women, and like they had absolutely nothing to say about it. When she and I say, how hard is it to say I'm against any type of abuse on women? There you go. One blanket statement would have covered everything. Instead, they said nothing. And it's not just Mulvaney, it's across the board. Right. He could have completely avoided the subject of the trans woman rapist. Everything, simply said, I don't encourage, or I stand against. No woman should have to deal with this, but just completely ignore the fact. Back on your phone. But yeah, as far as the AIs go, some of them make pictures, some of them can write stories. I've heard that there's a few that are actually really good. Um, I don't know if you guys play any type of RPGs, but there seems to be a small niche community of people who will pay to run D&D games, and they will use the chat AI systems to actually make and lay out randomized dungeons or castle designs, and it's kind of cool. I want to experiment with it, but who's got the time for that? I do say I want a truck so bad. I took Sarah up to our local Ford dealership to take a look at a Ford and Ford not yeah the Ford Maverick, little hybrid front wheel drive truck. I probably would have got it too, but they wanted like $12,000 over the invoice. Yeah, yeah, Mary. They've seen. I've seen them do right episodes of a show, and um, some of the people that I follow are gamers, and they use it to help come up with plot twists, and they have a hard time making a decision on something. They want something realistic, so they'll use a prompt into the AI to kind of generate different ideas for things that could happen. Who was it? I was watching a video about they asked an AI system to write a 500 or 5,000 page report on a Duke that never existed, and it did. It just came up with random facts and dates to fluff out this article about. And it, I mean, it was all written like the 11th, 12th grade or something like that. It wasn't super sophisticated, but there were dates and just if you didn't know this Duke did not exist, it was a compelling argument to say, hey, this guy exists. And, it was all rather coherent for what they're capable of currently. What's really cool, and this is kind of what I go into is certain certain financial software is I don't want to say experimenting with it, but using low level AI for to help categorize and process well, your financial statements for businesses, and it's really interesting. I don't think AI is anywhere close enough to replace actual accountants, but it's doing a lot. I mean, and a whole lot in the way of um, automating your day to day financial use of for small and mid sized businesses. It's almost too easy because any type of automation that's done wrong is going to get done wrong 1,000 times before somebody takes a moment to notice it. Or it's going to be, there are some things that are just so, guys, I'm so sorry. I do bookkeeping. I love finances. I love engineering and small details. I will go on for hours about the most minute financial things. And I know like 80% of it is non material. Thank God you're back. I'm starting to talk about bookkeeping and financial reports. Please take the phone from me. I wanted to kill your. Just. You got it? I got it. I'm sure they don't want to hear me going about financial reports.
Are you familiar with Midjourney?
Nuts. Midjourney is it's an RPG map.
H.
H.
SARAH.
What?
She misspelled my name. I'm just being snotty. You were saying Midjourney.
I think Midjourney is one of the it's an AI program for writing and I think maps. I'm really bad with names, guys. Like I get hers confused. And I've been married to her for years.
Well, to be fair, his ex's name is Mara. So it's kind of like the universe played a practical joke on the poor man.
Now, sometimes we get into these weird fights. Like,
I am on our Midjourney. She subscribes to the subreddit.
Oh.
Do you subscribe to the subreddit?
No.
Perhaps you should.
I should. I sub to our accountants and our tax humor.
Tax humor?
Tax humor.
There's an oxymoron if I ever heard one. The answer to my question, he should have said is no.
Oh.
I guess I'm not familiar with it as an okay answer.
Oh, I thought it was an AI software.
He is not familiar with Midjourney. Okay. Say I love you. Yeah, that's fine.
Should I invest my time to go take a look at our Midjourney?
You think he should go look into it? Yes.
Okay. So.
That's actually kind of adorable. Stealing my fruit over here. You use prompts and it creates images.
See, I was right.
But the latest version is amazing. Wow.
Does it do drawings to scale?
You know, there's some drama going on actually in the writing community about using that for book covers.
I know.
Oh, is that what he said? I did not understand. You did say something about AI. But
Yeah. And I do apologize.
It's amazing. Tell him to look at the sub.
Since I work customer service, I can't just say no. I have to use like 15 words to flesh it out. So I apologize.
It's a terrible habit.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
Huh.
I wouldn't put the sticker of the shooting stars next to your black and white photo. So it's a black and white photo with this random glitter patch.
Yeah. No, actually, I did that because I used that in a collage at one point a million years ago.
Whatever. It's cute. I like it.
Thanks. Hey, Mary, can I show off to you for a minute? Give me that.
Oh.
This is yours truly. At 20. The evolution from version 1 to version 5 is amazing. Right on. I understand not being allowed to say no. As a former child care worker, Can't say no to them either. Oh my god. Yeah, that's me at 20. On a beach, funnily enough. That's Cape Hatteras. Well, that's the ocean. That's where we were. Not us. Because that'd be too nice. Got that memory with you, dear. I was with my ex. That was a fun story. We drove all night from Indianapolis to the coast.
Is that where you broke your sunroof?
Yes, but that was at the other end of that trip. That was at the very beginning of that trip. And that trip was really like something out of a Wes Anderson movie, I swear to God. That was really, one of those that's one of those stories that, like, before I moved down here, I lived in something more like some sort of a dark comedy film, And now it really is closer to a sitcom. I don't know what happened exactly. I blame you. With your mother and everything living in, I mean, really. How could we not? With the generational shit that goes on in this place. Right? I mean, how is this just sitcom gold? Maybe that's what it is, like the themes of my life shifted. Which was part of what I was going for, needless to say. When you pick up and move across states and, make large lifestyle changes.
I'll tell you, when I left Cleveland, I packed everything I owned into the back of a '98 Neon, threw everything else away, and moved to Boston. Well, Worcester.
And you were like 20.
Yeah.
It was different.
Yeah, you did the equivalent, but with a kid.
No, not really.
All right, don't take my compliment.
Oh, if it's a compliment, then yeah, totally. I didn't realize, I was just thinking of it neutrally, like, that's not how it felt. I didn't just throw anything in the back of anything, remember? Speaking of my Uncle Paul, he rented a fucking U-Haul, remember? Like, drove us down here with a bunch of stuff. And we had gotten married and stuff. Made it all official and shit, So by the time we were actually moving down here, it really did not feel very spontaneous. You remember why we didn't come the first day? Like, we were supposed to come one day, and then there was like, we ended up coming the next day. Do you remember why? No. Anyways, yeah, life is such an adventure, so many stories. And, like, I get why older people talk about the past so much. I mean, aside from the fact that, as you get older, like, your mind kind of starts to get back heavy. Father Mark mentioned that last week. He was talking about how eventually you reach a point in your life where you realize there's more behind you than there is in front of you,
Well, if you're a butt, that's always going to be that.
You see what I have to deal with? I'm trying to make a serious point.
Okay.
I'm switching back to my computer now. Rock and roll. She maybe missed that. That's funny. What was I saying? Oh, yeah.
You reach to the point where you start realizing that you've got more behind you than in front of you, and
so,
and you start, being more introspective.
Well, because it's just like your thoughts are more related to stuff that isn't present anymore. Because there's just so much of it, in there. And, like, I forgot to plug in the phone. So, hang on a second. Hey, Cole! Yeah? Can you hand me the power cord, or the extension cord, the thing that the lamp's plugged into, please? Maybe unplug the lamp, if you don't mind. And whatever. Did you guys find the controller? You know where the controller is? No one's given up? That's hilarious. That's not gonna last. And he's just waiting to go to his girlfriend's house, baby.
I would say, I take this on the road and we could do it in the car. Kill a few birds with one stone. But your battery's dying, so.
And, you know, I mean, we'll be here when you get back, or I might, I don't know, just close it up for the day. It's 1:30. I can't believe it's been 2.5 hours. Does it feel like it's 1:30 already? Does it feel like it's been 2.5 hours? That's crazy, right? And Peter and Foam won't let me be on the same account at the same time. It's money. Why do you think I love being single? Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, there's perks to both. You know, there's perks on both sides. It's objectionable when people assume that someone who is single is lonely. And you know what? It's equally objectionable, frankly, to assume that someone who isn't single is happy, because that's stupid. No one does that, right? Right?
What?
Just because someone's in a relationship does not make them happy.
God.
See? Just because you're single doesn't mean you're unhappy.
As a person who hates themselves, yes, it does.
That's unhealthy. And probably not something you would, you know, ascribe to everyone, right? Probably not how everyone works.
I hate most people, so I assume they hate themselves too. It seems fair.
I love my own company. It's a great time. Right, yeah, I'm spending a lot of time in my own company lately, too. It's a talent.
When I spend time in my own company, I find things to keep me busy.
And married men are happier than single men. Actually, single women are happier than married women. Yeah, I've read that too. I mean, yeah, okay. That makes sense. You know, to have more time to pursue your own interests and stuff probably does make you happier on a day-to-day basis. That's cool. I can see that. And I accept that.
I don't know. I thought about it. If I was going to be single, like, I think being single with kids, I would not be more happy. But if I was single with no kids, like, I just like
Right, single.
noke out of it at the beginning,
Right.
and I knew that path, I'd be like, oh, I dodged a big fucking bullet right there.
Yeah.
And that would make me happy. Then
Right.
I wouldn't have my daughter. I don't know. Some days I'm okay with that.
No.
No,
You have a son as well, dummy.
Well, yeah, now.
So we wouldn't have him either.
Yeah.
Owen's just a force of nature. We sort of take him for granted, really, as existing. Yeah, it's hard to remember a time without him.
You're allowed to be selfish when you're thinking about your own happiness.
I know. I'm teasing you.
Well,
You just didn't mention him, that's all.
oh.
Watch me wag my finger and froth at the mouth. Childless women are happier, too. Yeah. And like I say, well, first of all, I'm not sure that's universally true across the board forever. Self-care isn't selfish. Right, see? You'd actually have had the time and the opportunity to take care of yourself properly. You wouldn't have, is the problem. Because he doesn't know how. And he has no real interest in learning because, as he says, self-loathing, etc. Not to brag. Right? No, I understand that, like, on a day-to-day basis, you probably have a better time than I do. But I don't have to worry about a human life I created. Right. It's less stress. Just generally. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've got 2 friends.
Really?
3 friends if you count Colin.
Hmm.
And my one friend is moderately successful. He and his wife have been married for years. He's out of the military. He's got a great job. They have no kids. They got 2 dogs. And they seem really happy. My other friend is divorced, has 2 or 3 kids, is with a woman who has a great job, but, you know, she has kids. And when he and I bitch about our lives, like 90% of it is like relationship shit. You know, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe this bullshit again.
So it's more the partner than the presence of the children?
I mean, the children really complicate things.
Right, yeah.
You know,
I'm not saying mothers can't be happy, but they sacrifice a lot.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I agree with that.
But I guess what I'm saying is not forever. It can be more of a short-term sacrifice that you then can reap benefits from later. We want to talk about being selfish. In later life, women who have children tend to be less alone. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I guess your mileage may vary. Because, maybe you're just cranky and tired of the world and their bullshit, and you maybe just want to be alone. Who knows? I see women with grown sons 50 years old living with them. See, that's,
As a grown son with a 60-year-old mother,
Who lives with us, yeah.
No. We live with her.
You're right. Shut up.
Well, I would be significantly less unhappy if it was the other way around.
Yeah, and it would matter. It's just, not the sort of thing I like to broadcast.
Oh.
But, she also does prefer it that way, I think.
True.
Because she doesn't have really anyone else outside of our family unit. Okay, unmarried, immature 50-year-old sons. There you go. He pays most of the bills around here, so it's not the same thing.
Yeah, the people that never
not men with wives and kids and jobs. There you go. So not present company accepted. See?
Little kitty.
Oh my goodness.
I said little kitty, and she looked up where?
Hey, Owen. We go and help him find the controls and take that boy over there so he will stop pestering me through text.
All right, get your shoes on.
Why?
Because you're going to go with me.
I was just going to let him stay here.
Don't you want to go and keep Dad company? I'm going to be so lonely if you don't go with me.
Well, listen, that thing was
And
sliding.
we can see the chickens and the goats.
I don't want to go.
That thing was sliding around.
Did I ask you to go put your shoes? Did I ask you if you wanted to go? Then get your shoes. 1, 2. You know what happens on 3. Hey,
Go
here are
get
your
your
shoes.
shoes on.
All right, get your shoes.
That thing was, though. It was sliding around in the rain later. Be careful.
Okay.
I just worry it's not you.
I'm not going to go.
My brother and his girlfriend live with my mom, and she doesn't have to be alone for the first time in her life as a widow. See, sometimes these things can work out for people. It's, you got to look at it individually on a case-by-case basis a lot of the time.
I'm not going to do any Tokyo drifting.
I know.
I was going to say, what's his name? Paul Logan, Paul Todd, Logan Paul, Paul Anderson. Oh, whatever that asshole was who, killed himself in the car.
Yes. Well, let's just go classic and say James Dean.
Yeah, but that was not nearly so funny. James Dean owned the car and was just speeding. This guy was taking a test drive in a car and was, showboating and drove into a giant plant holder.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
I never heard what happened.
He was showing off. And it was one of those giant concrete tree holders on the side of the street or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's great. I loved it.
Wow.
Dude, it's the irony was palpable.
Yeah. Wow. Talk about somebody who's high on their own farts or something, because he did all those films with all that fancy driving in them. And clearly got the idea that he could do some fancy driving, and apparently was mistaken.
I think, if I remember correctly, he was trying to show off for the passenger of the car.
Oh, dear.
Because, if I remember correctly, the passenger lived.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's the shittiest thing ever, right?
Come on.
That's gotta be a bad way to go.
His daughter's supposed to be making a cameo in Tetanus 10.
Why do they, that's a separate conversation, though, as to why they keep making those stupid movies.
Because they keep selling.
Yeah, but why?
Jonathan Frakes said it best. If the original makes money, for better or worse, are going to make a sequel. And they keep grabbing big name stars and throwing them in these things, and people keep going to see it. And none of them have flopped in the box office.
Yeah, it reminds me of The Critic. That show is 30, full on, fully 30 years old.
Yeah.
Just don't go. If the movie stinks, just don't go.
But that's the thing. It's subjective. A lot of people want to go
Philological
see
says, hey, RadChat.
it. Hello.
No, I know.
Do not step on the cat.
We should not have to explain that.
Fast and Furious 10. I like to call it Tetanus 10 because you got to get a shot. Go ahead and put him in the car. Let me get my shoes and stuff.
Oh, and come give me a kiss, baby. I love you. His girlfriend lives on a farm. Do you want to go see a farm?
Oh,
Why not?
I've been there once and I don't want to go again.
Oh, you went last time? I forgot. Oh,
I don't want to go.
I'm sorry. Take it up with your dad. I'm pretty sure he's pretty set though.
Come on, what's in the car?
Ah.
Somebody wore himself out yesterday at that field trip I mentioned to the big park. Yeah, man, they ran themselves ragged. It was great. And he was still up until 10:30. Kid does not like to go to sleep. I'm telling you. Kind of ridiculous. Dry skin is freaking ridiculous too. What the fuck? Does anybody know how to deal with dry cuticles in a way that, you know, makes them maybe not that anymore? Anyone know a treatment for dry cuticles? You know, I guess I could just probably look that up. Because if I don't, you know, slather lotion all over them constantly and, you know, cut off like the excess dry skin, it just cracks and peels off anyway, and they bleed anyway. So that sucks. Random fact about me today. Sorry. Gotta get your cuticles right after soaking your hands nicely. Yeah. How are we? Oh, that's Mary. That's Mary Jane RX. She's got a different handle on her computer. Yeah, as for soaking them, yeah, I guess I should probably do that. When do I have the time? I literally use my hands for everything I do. Everything I do, all the time. Writing, I use my hands. Typing, I have to use my hands. Cooking, I have to use my hands. Yeah, driving the car, I have to use my hands. I wish I can't be on my phone and computer at the same time. Right, yeah, right on. You know, like I wish, you know, those like socks that they make that are like infused with aloe vera and shit. I wish they made gloves like that. You know, like cloth gloves that were like infused with aloe and vitamin E and whatever that I could wear. That would be nice. After I get out of the shower, what are you talking about? Oh, like I should cut my cuticles after I get out of the shower? Yeah, maybe. But again, we have one bathroom, so usually by the time I get out of the shower, I gotta skedaddle the fuck out of there. And then I get distracted, you know. You can wear the unpowdered gloves with lotion under. Huh. Yeah. 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 What can I think of that? Thank you. That's a good idea. Like after you get out of the shower, the lotion on your hands, and then powder-free latex gloves on. I'm so glad I asked. I'm gonna try that, possibly tonight. Thank you. That's a good idea. Yeah. This is so great. I'm so glad we do this. Thank you. Cat wants to go in the house. That will soften your cuticles and you'll be able to use your hands until you're ready. Right, yeah. I see it. Thank you. I think we might even have some lying around the house, a box of them in the house somewhere. So I won't have to go out and get any. And all needless to say, I have plenty of lotion around the house. Hey, baby. Thank you for taking him. I really appreciate it. And everything. Oh! What?
All right.
Thank you, though. Speak from experience. Thank you. I was hoping somebody would have some tips for that. Because they drive me absolutely bonkers. The humidity helps. Man, in the winter, it's really bad. Speaking of which, oh my gosh, probably lotion. No, I have some here. I love you guys. Yeah, so going like state fairs and shit is really fun for me. Dark glasses, hats, and I'm not a fan of sunscreen. I don't like having slather stuff on myself, honestly. It's part of the problem with the cuticles, honestly, probably. I don't put on the lotion often enough because, I'm not covered in freckles because I love sunscreen. Oh no! They drove away. It'll come back. It'll come back. It will. What about state fairs? Oh, just going to big carnivals and stuff is really extra fun. You know, when being out in the bright sun for extended periods is disorienting and uncomfortable. Like, I guess most people, it's not sunstroke. That's not what I mean. Like, I just can't, like, I just need to close my eyes and not look at stuff anymore. It's all so, Can you hear me now? Ella can't make it today. She's preparing for Mother's Day. Oh, yeah, of course. Happy Mother's Day to Ella if you're talking to her. I mean, even if you're not. But, I keep forgetting that tomorrow is Mother's Day. uh, my birthday sneaks up on me too. Yeah, I've been able to hear you for a minute. Okay, good. Good. Yeah. No, so I'm photosensitive. I just really do not want to be out in the sun for an extended period. Anyway, I haven't got a bad sunburn since I was a kid. For that reason, probably. So, I'm glad you know how to deal with them, though. Being pale can be a pain in the ass. Makes me wonder if all those white people were jealous or something. We are friends on Discord. Okay, thanks. Thanks. I love having connections with Discord because that means I don't actually have to try and go there, maybe. Because it intimidates me. What is the deal with all that? Why is it so much? Why are there so many menus? Why? Why do they? I don't know. Like, I'm a millennial, but I'm an elder millennial, you know, and some of these social media platforms, I'm just like, I do not get it. I don't get it. I don't get how it works. I've tried several times. And I have an account on it, and I had it on my phone for years. Because everyone has a Discord group, don't they? We figured it out. I know. I know. You and she are the same age as me. I know. I can't blame. I don't know. I don't know what else to blame, though. I don't know what else to. What's the reason then? Why can't they do it? I don't know. Why? Why can't they do Discord? I don't know. It makes me think. You know, I can move the camera again so that we don't have to be looking at the goddamn. Oh wait, no, I can't because it's plugged in. Whatever. I put myself in the middle of the shot. It has been over 2.5 hours, though. I mean, I don't know. Do you want to wrap this up? You got stuff to go do? I know. Zoological was back there for a minute. I don't know if they're still hanging around or. No, we figured out how to talk to each other on Discord. Right? I know. You and she. Well, and you guys have made up, which is wonderful. But I literally just cannot figure out how to use Discord. You know, I message Ella on Signal sometimes. Damn, I ate 4 big apples yesterday. My brain is kind of dumb. Okay. Gosh, apples are great. I have been sitting here telling myself I don't need one right this minute because I don't want to get up and run in the house. Oh, wait. It's outside. It's over on the patio. I can get it. Kind of mean to eat it in front of you, though. Oh my god, yes, we are bonded. It's hard. Yeah. Do you use AOL chat rooms? A little bit. I had a younger sister who was very into the computers, so I really didn't get to use it a whole lot. As a teenager, I had to fight her for it. So I just kind of would go and hang out with my friends. Or I am also a nerd, so I always have something that I'm researching or working on to go and do. You know, it's like, oh, I'm not going to get to use the TV right now? Okay, that's cool. I got other shit to go and do. No, that's who I've always been. Mary getting high on apples. I rate it. Okay. Oh. You've misplaced the bowl. You might not need to hit it again. But I found it, so that doesn't count. I was mildly annoying hypomanic this morning from the sugar withdrawal, bringing me back into keto. Hypomanic. So that's like submanic, right? That's like elevated but not manic. Is what that means, right? That sounds weird. It's sort of hard for me to fathom that kind of thing. Like, I don't have this thing where... I mean, am I moody? Fuck yes. Because I am passionate, okay? And I will become randomly upset or joyful about things that only exist in my own mind. Daily. But, you know, it exists within certain standard parameters that just don't move. Like if I see someone, I can't not talk to them. And I was singing along out loud to the Russian music I was listening to. Yeah, I have bipolar. Yeah, it's like in a really good mood. It's the best. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Like I have, mood swings. But I understand that, in instances like bipolar disorder, they are not what I have. I consider myself to be a passionate person, for sure. And other people have definitely expressed this to me. But I've read and talked with people who have bipolar, and, I don't have that. I don't. Mine exists within certain steady parameters, such as sleeping nightly, and needing to sleep nightly every day, you know. Um, it's really the physiological symptoms that I think are the tell, you know. But I'm getting better at ending conversations with people and then walking away. That's just an important skill. Especially, if you have any tendencies towards being a people pleaser, it can be really easy. Oh my God, I just had this happen to me the other night. Thursday night, okay, there's this part of town right just outside of downtown in this little town where we live, where there are 3 churches all clustered around this corner, right? One of them is the huge Baptist church with 3 buildings. One of them is the decent-sized either Methodist or Lutheran church with the big window. And one of them is our little rinky-dink Episcopal church that we go to because that's where all the chill Democrats are, okay? And yeah, that's normal person stuff. Right. So I don't consider but so we walked across the street so we had the high school choir concert was at the Baptist church. And so then we walked across the street to our church because they were barbecuing as their semi-annual fundraiser, and we went to go say hi. Just to be friendly. And we're standing there, and this fella who I guess had been at the other thing for the concert wandered across the street behind us and had struck up a conversation, sniffing the barbecue and whatever, with me. And proceeded to spend the next half an hour or so telling me that he was from Florida, and his ex-wife of 24 years was a nasty bitch, and his second wife, who was a younger thing, had died of her diabetes, and he was very sad, and had been single for 4 or 5 years, and just kind of rallying. I'm like, why do I know all this stuff now? What just happened? Why do I know all of this about... I did not ask. I did not ask. I may have asked him how he was, a friend of mine, I asked about this yesterday, a friend of mine, and he said that, because he has the same problem, and his thought was that it's the listening, the actually listening, that's the problem. That most people don't know how to do that a lot of the time. And I do just kind of reflexively do it, because I'm like, stupidly empathic, I guess. Like, I can't not focus on someone when someone is standing there speaking to me. I don't know, it's really difficult to just, no. I figure maybe I should probably tell my friend that feeling other people's emotions is not normal, and he might want to look into that. I'm sorry, sir, but I'm going to need to charge you for this conversation, as you just treated me as a therapist. My hourly rate is $200, right? Right? And I am not in psychology for exactly this reason. Because of this natural talent of mine, goodness knows, I do not need weirdos dumping on me all the time, like as a profession. I realized at some point early on when I was pondering this idea that would probably be very bad for my mental health. And still, it does. It happens to me in grocery lines. It happens to me all the time. Bank tellers, all the time. My husband wonders why I don't just strike up conversations with random strangers. I don't need to. They do it for me. Apparently I just look friendly or something. I don't know. Is it the dimples? And I am. I care, Otherwise I would. Just be like, oh my God, please shut up. And walk away. Because I can't help but care about, fellow human beings and shit. Ridiculous, I know. Which is why I say sometimes dramatic shit, like, if everybody in the world were like me, there just wouldn't be war, because I don't get it. Because I don't get it. What is that? You know, besides bizarre and absurd, which I am far from the only one to observe about war. So why? I don't fucking know. Sarah, you had to run outside. Man, I get deep, so you leave? Sure, I see how it is. Fine, fine, fine. I see how it is. It was really important, too, because I don't remember exactly what it was. Some dude is touching my shit in front of my house, touching my chair. I ran out. I'm like, hi, what are you doing? Yeah. And then, do you speak English? How many different languages can you say that in? No. Do you speak, not really. Do you speak Spanish? No. Do you speak Russian? No. I speak Ukrainian. Jesus Christ. This neighborhood of yours. You have to be multilingual just to live there. Damn. I can rewind. Okay. Oh. I was just yammering. And I should probably let you go anyway, because it's almost 2 o'clock. It's wild. I cannot believe that it's been almost 3 hours, because it does not feel like it at all. But, like, I also feel like that's, like, all the more reason I should probably get off here and go and figure out what else I'm doing today. And stuff. And, you know, the thing about writing a novel is, like, I do still have this giant pile of laundry that's just kind of waiting for me to fold it and put it away. I told you my neighbor's moving. People are looking at his house. Yeah. So, yeah, sadly, I think I'm gonna have to let you go. Jesse gender, though, right? I can speak Spanish and Russian because I need to. Right. That's crazy. I mean, it's great. But it's not been my experience. I've never lived in Philadelphia. So. You know, we did live in a really ethnically and culturally diverse part of Cleveland for a long time. But, like, have a good rest of your day and weekend. And you too, Mary. Thanks, Philological. You too, honey. Tu parles français? Je parle un peu français. J'ai voyagé au Québec. Dans the 8th grade. Habla inglés. Yes. No hablo español. No hablo español. I'm very bad with Spanish. I don't know why. It's not one that strikes me easily. French, German, yes. I have a smattering of both of those because they stick in my mind for some reason. Spanish doesn't. Ti mojibi poliruski. Yeah, right. It is kind of crazy. I mean, it's wild, but it's neat, you know? And it's great that you can do it. I don't think everybody could do that. No, I don't think everybody could do that. Yeah, but, I got strawberries to go put away and parfait to make. Like, y'all, I made a double batch of this strawberry cake mix last night because I'm gonna make parfaits, you know? And, it's like the thickest sheet cake I've ever seen. And shit was in the oven for almost an hour. No. For an hour. That shit was in the oven for a full-on hour. I look forward so much to seeing you guys next week. And I will go and pull a clip from a Jesse Gender video, okay? Talking a 10 or 15 minute clip. Maybe. French and German have a lot of influence on English. Yeah, yeah. I think that might be part of it. Because I struggle with Italian, too. Like, the Latin languages, really, I'm like, what? What? But then Russian makes some sense to me, so I don't know what that's about. The tonal languages throw me for a loop. Like, you know, this is a whole different linguistic universe that I've only heard about and never really visited. I taught myself sign language to music when I was bored. Nice. It's amazing what you can teach yourself when you're bored, isn't it? Stop being so fun and interesting. I need to go. Dagnabbit. Here's to that, and a lovely week, and to making fun of Jessie Gender this weekend. Really, I want to, you know, I just, yeah, that's who we decided I'm going to make fun of. Is that cool? Because, what a goofball. Russian is like French. In some ways, yeah. I'm not sure what they are. I can't really quite put my finger on it because I'm not, like, you know, knowledgeable in this way. But, like, intuitively, I feel what you're saying. Like, avec moi is у меня. Huh. Interesting. Because, of course, French also has a lot of Latin influence to it, you know. You know, it's clearly a breed of its own. Whereas Russian doesn't. Supposedly. Pog. Tu and boo is the same in Russian. You know, I think I remember noticing that and thinking that was very strange. And then, of course, the Russians get their alphabet from the Greeks, right? Like the story that I heard, and apparently this is the official, you know, story, is some Greek academic, like, gave them their alphabet, you know, based on the Greek alphabet, and then invented a few more letters, you know, for the sounds that Greek doesn't have. Yeah, from the little I've seen of Jessie's videos, she seems really silly and annoying. I am going to refer to this person by male pronouns. I hope that does not offend you overly, because Jessie Gender strikes me as a dude. Like, so hard. I don't care what he does. I love the Russian alphabet, right? It's so beautiful, and it works perfectly because it was tailored right to their language, you know? So it's not like English where they have to approximate shit. You can actually spell stuff with their alphabet. As opposed to English, where we're constantly trying to approximate the words with the alphabet. Because, you know, it's almost like it's not quite tailored to it or something. Whereas in Russian, I noticed that you can spell all that stuff very precisely with that alphabet. So that story, I think, checks out. And goodness knows, it's not that they don't have a complex vocabulary and complex, oh God, what's the word for sound library, essentially? Sound repertoire of the language. I forget the word for that. I personally choose to use people's preferred pronouns, but I'm not going to go around screaming at people who don't. Thank you. And I don't mean it to be like giving him the finger, okay? Because, like, there are those who strike me as more feminine, and I have been known to slip up and call them she. Jessie Gender is not one of them. I've known people just like that. And so maybe it's my own bias, but again, it's not like he's gonna watch it. You don't know who the fuck I am. If my opinion matters to him at all, I doubt it. So, we're just gonna have some fun. Preferred pronouns is how you get men into women's prisons. Yeah, no, I don't, you know, support them. I also consider it not the most important thing to sweat over, though. In my videos. Let me be clear. In law? Oh, yes. We sweat the details in law, okay? My videos are not the law of anything. All right. So, my own quirks and habits of speech, I am making no claim that they reflect the world at large. I do not make that claim. I do not support men and women's prisons at all, obviously. Context is queen, okay? In my videos, sometimes I may not speak as precisely as the law might need to. I accept that and I'm okay with it because I'm not an attorney and I don't know how to do that, really. So I won't drive myself crazy. Oh, you're awesome too, Mary. I feel the same way. I don't think pronouns are such an important battleground. No, they're really not. Maybe on a personal, interpersonal level for an individual, maybe. But generally speaking, or in a law, courtroom. But generally speaking, I feel like that's a massive red herring. I do. And I'm just going to call Jesse he. Because Jesse is, in my mind, a boy's name. Anyway. You're a nice red femme. You don't have to say that you are, because your actions show it. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I just believe what I believe because it seems like the most rational, logical thing to me, and I'm not out to get anybody. I don't understand being out to get anybody. Who the fuck has time for that? I'm trying to look after my own interests. And that takes up enough of my time, Speaking of which, I guess I gotta go and do that, like for real, so. Thank you so much for joining me, both of y'all. We agree to disagree on this. Right. Which I love that. And I love you. I love both of y'all. And I look forward to seeing you next week. And we're going to talk about... we'll have reasonably topical stuff to talk about next week. That's kind of exciting, right? So, yeah, we're looking forward to that. And y'all have a good week. Okay.